Hi, good evening. Okay, as I said today that I'm going to share with you about three sessions that is available in the market every time when it's open. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the chase and then proceed on with sharing on the whiteboard. Alright, so there are basically three sessions that is happening daily from Monday to Friday while you're trading the forex market. Okay, and the first one will be the Asian session. Okay, sorry, it's going to be sound a bit boring because some of the information is something that you guys most probably already know. Okay, the second one will be the London. Actually, there are three. The other one is actually the Australia, which is actually the same as the Asian session. Australia, yeah. Okay, it's not in order, okay. Okay, basically when the markets are just based on Singapore time. So for right now, right, like example when I start around the 6 a.m. when the markets open and the first candle opens, right. This one will last to at least during my time, for my time, right. It's actually around the I will just put it on 3 p.m. Yep. Okay. For the exact hours, right, you might want to refer to Google. You can Google your answers. Okay, so during the early hours of the day, right, this will take place the Asian session and also the Australian session as well. Okay, this is what I know. But if your information, if you want to know more, as I say, you have to just Google and then or you look for your mentor or for your service provider to find out more, right? But this is based on what am my understanding. Okay, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then after that, the London will kicks in as well. I believe around 4 if I'm not wrong. 4 p.m. then London will start skiing all the way at least until 2 a.m. and then the New York the London will start this, then after the New York will comes in most probably around 7 p.m. then all the way until 6 a.m. Okay, why am I sharing you all this? Okay, first of all, right, like for me, right, I do not really concentrate on Asian session. Okay, I do not really concentrate on the Asian session. I'm more concerned is actually more into the London and the New York session, which starts most probably around 4 p.m. Okay, it usually starts around 4-5 p.m. But if based on the H4, because as you know that I took my entries a lot on the H4. If on the H4, right, that will come most probably around the third H4 candle. Okay, the third H4 candle will start around 6 p.m. Okay, at least until 10. And then the fourth, no, 6, 9, sorry, that one is the, sorry, my bad, this one is the fourth. My concentration is on the fourth, my bad. Okay, the third one is actually the 2 p.m. to 6. Okay, and then the fifth one is the 10 to 2. And then the last one will be from 2 to 6 a.m. Okay, so usually I'm more concerned is actually on the third one, on the fourth one, sorry. Okay, because this one will cover the London and New York session. And generally, what I find that during the London and New York session, right, the market will move a bit more faster. Okay, and then there is much more clarity. Why I don't like to trade the Asian sessions is that the Asian session the Asian session, right, is usually counter trend most of the time. Maybe nearly to 90% of whatever moves in the Asian session, right, will be quite counter trend. So if you want to trade the Asian session, right, your moves you can't really, example, if you take an uptrend in Asian session, right, by the time it's London, New York, right, that trend move is going to come down. Okay, most of the time. That's why I do not really trade the Asian. See, even want to pronounce, not so good really. Okay, so I prefer the London and New York session. So you can either choose either one. Okay, you cannot participate in everything and then you expect everything to go well. Okay, which is unlikely to happen most of the time. Okay, so what does it do to your trading and what does it impact you? The impact is really on the strategy. For instance, right, as I say, if you're going to use the Asian session, right, remember that the Asian session only have a limited time space. Okay, starts from morning all the way until 3. Alright, and the moves are also limited. Okay, and then the trend is usually opposite of the bigger trend most of the time. Okay, most of the time. I'm not trying to say that you cannot find bigger moves in Asian. So example, for instance, right, if you are a trend trader, okay, and you are going to try to trade the Asian, that is not going to work for you. Okay, for me as a trend trader, right, I rather work in something that is in line with the trend, and most of the time that is going in line with the trend is the London and New York session. Okay, so that is going to impact the way your strategy. Okay, you can have the best strategy, but your strategy is going to work either on any of these session. Okay, it's either or. Your strategy most of the time it can't really work on both most of the time. Okay, even if you ask me, I got my friends who are scalpers, right? Even they, as a scalper who can in and out of the market, they only choose one. So they knew that it's nearly too impossible for you to really do two. Maybe you can say, yeah, I've done both and I still come out on tops. Yeah, but how much? How many? What are the probability of the majority doing that type of trading? Because the thing, right, for instance, right, you're going to participate too, you are going to overtrade. Okay, and then secondly, what kind of trader are you? Counter trend or a trend trader? Are you a trend trader or are you a counter trend or you want to be both? So at the end of the day, what do you want to be? You don't even know what you want to be. So choose what you want to be. So this is where it impacts you in terms of the trading. Okay. Alright, let's see. Okay. Okay, so this is what going to impact you. So let's go to the charts, right? So like for instance, right now, this is pound CHF. Okay, like for instance, okay, let me give you an example. This is the pound Aussie that is going on right now, right? If you look, this is the ongoing candle that is going on right now. If you look at, there is a drop, there is a slight drop today, right? I mean in the H4, right? That happens during the Asian session. Okay, now this is the candle that is running, which is from 10 o'clock right now. This is the 10 o'clock. Okay, this is the 10 to now running 10 to 2 a.m. later. This one is the 6 to 10. Okay, the start in the London and New York. Okay, and then this is the 2 to 6, and then this is the 6 to 2. So if you look from here, right, the 6 to 2, right, this market is moving towards downside from 2 10 to 2, 6 to 10, 2 to 6, yeah. So 10 to 2. So from 10 to at least 10 to 4 or 5 o'clock, right, it went down in this case. How I know? Let's just let me just take this one. This is the Asian. Okay, this is the Asian here. If I'm going to go into the lower time frame, you can see that lows. Look at this opposite of trend. Where is the trend in this case? For even for the lower time frame, you can see that the price is moving towards the upside. But you see what that does? The Asian did. The Asian bring the price down, right, at least to near around 40 pips. Okay, which is totally counter trend of what the price is doing. Okay, so that is where I don't really trade the Asian session. Okay, and when I see the Asian, I just follow my if I want to make an entry, is I always look towards the London and New York session, and then let it run. Okay, like for instance, even you can see from here just now the London New York try to bring the market down, and even the Asian session here, this is the day, right, brings the market down at least until here. This is the downtrend in the Asian session today, this one. Okay, I'm going to go down in the lower time. Look at that. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 hours it went down during the Asian session, and then after that, boom, went up. That's why if you look from here, right, so if I'm going to look from here, you're going to base and see from your time frame, right, there is no downtrend. Okay, how do we know if there is no downtrend? If there is a downtrend, right, price is going to go here, price is going to go here, and price is going to go here. That is a downtrend. Okay, but that is not happening, right? So it's not a downtrend. Instead, it's actually an uptrend, because if you are going to see the another way of seeing the trend or the charts, right, look at the bigger leg. Okay, look at the bigger leg. A bigger leg pushing up towards the upside, a smaller leg trying to push the market down towards the downside. Okay, and see the big, this leg and this leg is much smaller, that's why there's a strong push towards the downside. And then after that, market pushes again, a longer leg, push down, and we can see that the buyers are still pushing these markets towards the upside. Okay, still pushing the market towards the upside, so there's no downtrend in this case. Alright, so it's a very simple analogy that for the Asian session, okay, and the London New York session, right, you want to be very selective in terms of how you let your trades run. Okay, like for then in this case right now, right, for instance right now, I'm just going to leave this as it's running. Okay, as it is running. If you look from this, right, what happened yesterday, that I entered here, right, price go up, and then when this happens, right, I just leave it alone. Okay, I just leave it alone, and then today it went up, and now it's going to hover here. I'm just going to leave this alone, because you know why? Because as I say, my bias is towards the upside. Okay, my bias is towards the upside, because if you look from here, right, it's moving up. Okay, it's moving up towards the upside, and an uptrend job is to take over resistance. So if you do even if you do a support and resistance level, right, okay, for instance, how do we know it's a support level? When price goes down and never goes down, it goes up, that's a support. So that's one support here. Okay, in the weekly. Okay, support here. Then after that, price goes up, and then price goes down again, never break this support. Okay, price does not break this support, then price goes up again, goes down again, we test that support. This is a very good support. I think this. Okay, let's take a 3, 1 2 3. So there's a support there. Then what happens? There's a resistance here, price goes down, price goes up, price break out, but in the end it's found support, it goes up, it breaks over this resistance, previous resistance, now turning into new support in the weekly. Okay, and then price over here, there's a resistance here, right, there's a resistance here, right, and then what happens? Price push up until there, breaking the previous resistance. So I'm going to take that level. If this one, you can see it's one level, but actually it's actually in the daily, right, there are already 2 touches. There should be 2 touches. Let's see. Okay, one touch, but in the H4 it should be 2 touch. Let me see. Oh, right, multiple touches here. Okay, so if you look from here, that based on the daily, price is still moving towards the upside, but yeah, it can be a bit slow and it can take a while. So I'll just leave this alone, because what I see here is the inside bar fakie. Okay, inside bar fakie, price initially went out of the inside bar. In this case, mother bar, inside bar, price went out, fakie. At this point of time, people thought it's an inside bar breakout. No, price pushes back with a bullish engulfing. People buy here, happy, then become sad again. And then here we test here, make a inside bar, still within the inside bar, and price goes up. Now my thoughts is that for it to came out of this mother bar here, okay, came out of this mother bar here, and then to continue this uptrend towards the upside. Okay, so that's the reason for my pound cat. I'm just going to keep it whole and then see where it takes. Alright, so that's what I got for you for the today. Alright, so you have to find a balance between what kind of session you want to participate, whether it will be the Asian, or which you want to go into London or New York. Okay, do not try to resist to participate in both sessions if that's possible. Alright, so I'll see you guys in my next video. See you soon. Cheers.